Well, we're heading over to Garage Mahal, and we're not building models yet because we're still messing with Garage Mahal. But it's so dang cold that it's really miserable to go chasing trains or grades or ghost towns or
freeze to death.
And it's kind of normal that when the weather turns crappy and the winter finally settles in, that you turn to building models.
Right.
That's just what you do.
Exactly.
If you live in cold parts of the world,
like
you
here.
finally have to give up on outdoor activities because now the snow is...
It's, well, it gets slick.
It gets
we
slick.
want to keep all of our cars on the road.
Yeah, so we've parked all of the Mustangs for the winter, and we're kind of going to more indoor activities. Anyway, so for the show, we thought we would finally show you guys the total mega function of the Steampunk 3D duplicating system, which is our main casting facility there at Garage Mahal. Still doesn't work though.
Sad.
We got the parts in from the East Coast, and well, they don't work because they're not compatible with the gas valve, which dates from 1950 and uses different technology and different. So we got a guy over there, and he's scratching his head and going, "Wow, you got to do the." So now we got to replace the whole gas valve. It's getting complicated.
Jeez,
we aren't
Hyundai.
It's. I hope it's safer than a Hyundai.
Oh, well, that's why I got rid of it. No,
I don't mind it having fire coming out in wrong places because that's not too bad.
Yeah.
But a Hyundai, I don't know.
Yeah, like they just
crossing
put
a
on
line
the
there. Yeah, crossing a line.
Yeah.
Anyway, since we don't have that machinery working, we're going to show you a different casting machine because we actually have several different casting machines. So we thought we'd fire up, and I do mean fire, a different casting machine. So check this out. It should be fun. So this is our main casting system. It works in white metal, pewter. It can also do Zymac, which is zinc. It can do any metal that casts out to 1,000 degrees. However, if you need to cast at higher temperatures, we have this casting system. We haven't even started working on this yet, but it can go out to 2,000 degrees. And that system will cast brass, and that's how you make these nifty brass locomotives, is with a casting system like that. We have that nifty show on Ralph and Rosie Gochner and how they did brass castings for some of these engines. Okay, so let's look at a funner casting system. This is a Mattel Thingmaker from the early 1960s. These were awesome toys. This is the heart of the system. It's sort of like a hot plate with a heating element in it. Now, it doesn't melt stuff like the other casting systems. Instead, it vulcanizes the rubber in the molds with heat. Ooh, now it does heat up to about 400 degrees, so if you touch it, well, that's going to be a problem. Keep in mind, too, that this system was designed for kids. But back then, society was a little more tolerant of dangerous toys. Now, this is another important part. This is the water tray. You fill that up with water. Now, these are 2 bottles of the original plastic goop. Even though it's 50 years old, it's just fine. But fortunately, you don't have to go looking for the original goop. There's this stuff, Patty Goop. It's the exact same goop, and you can buy it online. The rest of the stuff you're going to have to hunt on eBay for. The colors tend to sort of settle out, so it's a good idea to shake your goop before squirting it into the mold. Anyway, then you squirt goop into the mold and you shoot different colors in there depending on how you want your bug or your leaf or flower or whatever to turn out. It's really fun because then you can sort of design the whole look of the thing as you're going. But it's just liquid as you squirt it in there. Now you carefully set your mold onto the hot plate, like I say, at about 400 degrees. This is why you have the water tray, so if you burn your finger, you can quickly douse it in the water tray. The colors kind of shift as it hardens, and then you douse the mold in the water tray, and that cools that off rapidly. And now you can start prying your bug or leaf or whatever out of the mold. The stuff is actually really strong, so it's not that hard to get out of there. This is the funnest part of the project because for the first time you actually get to see what you created. And you get to start playing with it. There were a whole bunch of different mold sets. The ones that created bugs were called the Creepy Crawlers set. But there was also the Mini Dragons set, and the Flower Power set, and the Pencil Trolls set. Ooh, and a set that made just toy soldiers, and that was really a cool set. Now, the slow part of this process is the cooking. It takes a little while for them to cook. So this is when you add a second Thingmaker to speed up the process. Twice as much fun for double the cost. Now here's another toy. This is the Vacuform machine that Mattel made at the same time for vacuum forming plastic. We need to do a whole show on that. But it uses the exact same hot plate as the Thingmaker. And what that means is you can also use it in conjunction with your Thingmaker to bake your molds. So now you can start really cranking out your creepy crawlers or your flowers or your soldiers or whatever. All of these casting machines share one thing in common, and that's that you start mass producing stuff. You're like a little industrial complex, just turning out stuff as fast as you possibly can, and that's part of the fun of the whole thing. As a kid, I became a junior capitalist by selling my creepy crawlers to a doctor who would then give them out as rewards to kids who put up with their shot. And so in really short order, you have a whole shelf full of bugs for your capitalistic ventures, and if you're not careful, a few minor wounds as well. Well, there you go, Mattel's Thingmaker.
That is so cool. I remember those because my cousin made me a Willy the Worm. Well, I couldn't go Christmas shopping with my parents, and they came to Salt Lake, but he made this Willy the Worm for me to have. They got home and gave it to me, so this is for Joe.
This is Willy the Worm.
Yeah, so I carried Willy the Worm with me.
I used to make just tons and tons and tons of these things. I probably had, I'm sure I had Willy the Worm
Probably.
mold because I used to make the worm.
Yeah.
You're supposed to make the worm and use it as a fishing lure. I don't know that anybody ever actually did.
I don't know. It was a good consolation prize for not going Christmas shopping.
But it's just fun. And I still have the physical scars from all of the burns that I picked up off of the machine.
Mine was an easy bake oven, but anyway.
Yeah, those got hot enough to burn you too. Yeah,
oh, yeah.
'cause, you had to bake bread with them.
Oh yeah, and cakes and 100-watt light bulb. Ow.
Just neat. Mattel made the coolest darn toys.
They did. Yeah.
And they still make neat toys. I think they're still around.
I think, but I don't know. I think that we had the best toys when we were kids. That's what I think.
I think they were better toys.
They were.
I think they were better.
Dangerous but fun.
Dangerous, but not dangerous in a lethal sort of way.
No, you got burned, and if your mom was like my mom, she just looked at you and go, "You'll learn."
You'll learn. Yeah, it taught you respect for dangerous stuff, like a tool that can burn you or cut you.
You'll
or
learn.
something. You'll learn. And we did. And we have the scars to prove
That's
it.
right.
But it was fun. It was a lot of fun, and that's a fun toy. Well, if you haven't been to the channel and subscribed, then please get over to the channel and subscribe because it's cool and it's fun and it's interesting and it's wonderful, and you want to do that.
That's
because
right.
It's all those things.
Yeah.
And you can get there very simply by simply clicking on the blue button, zoing, right here, says subscribe, takes you to the channel, makes you a subscriber, and makes you cool.
Absolutely.
So you want all of that.
Yes.
Well, we're not sure how you found this movie on the internet. We hope you didn't find it boring. Entertaining. And we will see you here again next Sunday with some more screwing around. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.
Bye.